Hi everyone, I'm Linda Reimer, one of the librarians at the Southeast Bend County Library. Welcome to Library Connections, our weekly readers, viewers, and listeners advisory video cast. Enjoy. Library Connections number 60. This is the Friday, July 9th, 2021 edition of Library Connections. Kicking things off with the top 5 fiction bestsellers of the week from the New York Times. At number 1, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. A novelization of the film, set in 1969, by its director and screenwriter. At number 2, The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Hannah Hall discovers truths about her missing husband and bonds with his daughter from a previous relationship. At number 3, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. An epic party has serious outcomes for 4 famous siblings. At number 4, The President's Daughter by Bill Clinton and James Patterson. Matthew Keating, a past president and former Navy SEAL, goes on his own to find his abducted teenage daughter. And at number 5, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town on the North Carolina coast in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. Moving on to the top 5 nonfiction bestsellers of the week. At number 1, Nightmare Scenario by Yasmin Abtaleb and Damian Paletta. 2 Washington Post journalists give an account of the Trump administration's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. At number 2, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. How trauma affects the body and mind, and innovative treatments for recovery. At number 3, Reborn in the USA by Roger Bennett. The soccer commentator describes how he embraced American popular culture while growing up in Liverpool. At number 4, Killing the Mob by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. The 10th book in the conservative commentator's Killing series looks at organized crime in the United States during the 20th century. And at number 5, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. The activist and public speaker describes her journey of listening to her inner voice. Our first reading recommendation of the week is the new Jeffrey Burton novel, The Keepers. It's part of his Canine Mystery series. In Burton's enjoyable sequel to 2020's The Finders, 3 separate murder investigations preoccupy Mace Reed, a cadaver dog trainer who assists the Chicago police and various sheriff's departments, and his pack of 5 working dogs, notably Vera, an exceptionally sensitive golden retriever who, and I quote, takes the art of human remains detection to the next level, the Sherlock Holmes level. Vera is literally able to sniff out the guilty parties, leaving her wily human companions the job of figuring out how to bring the killers to justice. The murder cases, and there are 3 of them, those of a union organizer, a former one-hit wonder rock star, and, notably, the head of the Special Prosecutions Bureau inside the local county state attorney's office, eventually intertwine and draw Mace and the dogs into a disturbing web of political corruption at the highest level. Who can they trust? The answer seems to be no one, as the fast-paced, action-packed plot builds to a thrilling finale. Burton carefully crafts each dog's personality, ensuring that they, like the humans, are fully realized characters. Dog lovers are in for a treat, and that is the Publisher's Weekly Review. Our second recommended read of the week is the new novel Songs in Ursa Major by Emma Brodie. Jane Quinn was raised in a matriarchal family on a remote tourist island off the coast of Massachusetts. Baleen Island is home to a famous folk music festival, which in the summer of 1969 draws teen idol Jessie Reed to Jane's hometown. Jane's band, the Breakers, serendipitously meets and ends up touring with Jessie, thus sparking Jane and Jessie's incendiary love affair. Jessie believes wholeheartedly in Jane's talent and pushes her to write her first solo album, Songs in Ursa Major. Unfortunately, their love is ill-fated. Their youth, family secrets, and the demands of record label contracts prove to be too much. Jane wants her talent to be valued apart from her connection to Jessie, and Jessie simply wants Jane as his life's companion. Set in the grooving 1970s music world, this sprawling novel follows Jane and Jessie through the epic highs and lows of their careers, moving from New York to Los Angeles to Greece to the Grammys, and then always back home to the island. Brodie's debut is a furious page-turner, meditating on the glittering beast of fame, and that is the Booklist Review. And that's a summer read, if ever I heard of a summer read. Definitely going on my to-read list. Our first audiobook recommendation for this week is not a new novel. It's been out for a couple of years, but it's appropriate for the summertime. It's a light summery read and listen. It's called All Summer Long by Melody Carlson. The audiobook is read by Lauren Izzo. Tia D'Amico is thrilled to move to San Francisco to help her aunt transform an old luxury yacht into an upscale floating restaurant. What's not to love? Sunset dinner cruises, upscale wedding receptions. The possibilities are endless and far more appetizing than staying in a monotonous job in her podunk hometown. And besides, some of her best memories are tied to San Francisco, especially the memory of Leo Parker, her crush from a long-ago sailing camp. When the self-same Leo Parker turns out to be the yacht's captain, Tia is floating on air. But will it all come crashing down around her when she discovers his heart belongs to someone else? We'll have to read the book to find out, but I have a feeling, knowing the style of Melody Carlson, that this is going to have a happy ending. And I'm digressing. Let me get back to the synopsis here. Get ready for a romantic summer in San Francisco with this read, where the future glistens brighter than the bay at sunset. And that's our first audiobook recommendation for the week. Our second audiobook recommendation for this week is the new Lauren K. Denton novel, The One You're With. The audio is narrated by Carolyn Hewitt. Mac and Edie have had a picture-perfect romance spanning decades. With the exception of a short breakup, the summer they turned 21. Now, nearing 40, the couple seemingly have it all, including 2 beautiful children, a thriving pediatric practice for Mac, and an interior design career for Edie. And all of this comes crashing down when a young woman shows up at Mac's pediatric practice, revealing herself to be a child from a relationship he had that long ago summer. Now, Mac and Edie must face the secrets they have kept from each other if their marriage is to survive. And while Edie is greatly hurt by Mac's undisclosed relationship, she also has some memories of that summer that she has not shared. This story is a realistic view of the trials of a long-term relationship, and it reminds readers that marriage is a choice to love someone every day. Denton's 5th novel, After the Summer House from 2020, is a compelling beach read. And that's the second audiobook recommendation for this week. Our first streaming recommendation for this week is a classic. It's the 1938 Hitchcock film, The Lady Vanishes, starring Margaret Lockwood and Michael Redgrave. This crisp, sophisticated whodunit was Alfred Hitchcock's last film in his native Britain, before he departed for Hollywood, and it is quintessentially Hitchcock. Gorgeous leads, colorful supporting characters, sly wit, stylish camera work, a dash of violence, and just a hint of sex. Thanks to the considerable chemistry between the intrepid amateur sleuths, played by Margaret Lockwood, and Michael Redgrave, it's easy to find its DNA in later Hitchcock classics like North by Northwest and To Catch a Thief. But The Lady Vanishes stands firmly on its own as a snappy and clever thriller. Our critic called it a brilliant melodrama, and that's from Jason Bailey of the New York Times. Our second streaming recommendation for this week is the TV series Russian Doll, Season 1, which actually came out in 2019. There is going to be a Season 2. I believe they're filming it now. They were a little delayed, of course, by the pandemic. Russian Doll stars Natasha Lyonne, Greta Lee, and Charlie Barnett. The series is directed by Leslie Headland, Jamie Babbitt, and the star Natasha Lyonne. The most obvious point of comparison for this oddball science fiction dramedy is the movie Groundhog Day, given that Russian Doll is also about a character who keeps reliving the same 24 hours over and over. Here, the trapped person is a sad sack software engineer named Nadia. On the night of her 36th birthday, Nadia keeps dying and rebooting, just like a video game character. And she has to figure out what she needs to change about her life to survive. Our critic wrote, "This is a show with a big heart, but a nicotine-stained heart that's been dropped in the gutter and kicked around a few times." And I would agree with that summary. For another series about alternative realities, watch the anthology Black Mirror. And that mini overview is from Noel Murray of the New York Times. Our Hoopla recommendation for this week is available through Hoopla in both ebook and audiobook form. It's the new novel Legends of the North Cascades. Dave Cartwright used to be good at a lot of things. Good with his hands, good at solving problems, good at staying calm in a crisis. But on the heels of his 3rd tour in Iraq, the fabric of Dave's life has begun to unravel. Gripped by PTSD, he finds himself losing his home, his wife, and his direction. Most days, his love for his 7-year-old daughter Bella is the only thing keeping him going. When tragedy strikes, Dave makes a dramatic decision. The two of them will flee their damaged lives, heading off the grid to live in the wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. As they carve out a home in a cave, in that harsh, breathtaking landscape, echoes of its past begin to reach them. Bella retreats into herself, absorbed by visions of a mother and son who lived in the cave thousands of years earlier, at the end of the last ice age. Meanwhile, back in town, Dave and Bella themselves are rapidly becoming the stuff of legend to all but those who would force them to return home. As winter sweeps towards the North Cascades, past and present intertwine into a timeless odyssey. Poignant and profound, Legends of the North Cascades brings Jonathan Evison's trademark, vibrant, honest voice to bear on an expansive story that is at once a meditation on the perils of isolation and an exploration on the ways that connection can save us. And this week we have a brief Cliff Notes how-to section. Specifically, we're going to go over how to access 1. The library's calendar of events online, 2. The library's Facebook page, and 3. The library's YouTube channel. And as I'm running out of week, this is rather a plain slide and/or section of the video, but I will jazz it up for the next Cliff Notes. Having said that, let's get into how you access the library's calendar of events.
So, since we're in the summer reading program season now, and there's lots going on in library land, both in-person programs and some virtually, I thought I'd give you a brief tour of how you find out about library programs. Now, you can, of course, drop by the library and ask the staff. We're always happy to see you. You can also always call the library at area code 607-936-3713. Those are great options. But if you're sitting at home at 11 o'clock at night and you'd like to know what's going on in library land, there's a couple of digital ways to find out. Through the library's website is first, and that's what you see here. The library's website is found at ssclibrary.org. And once you get to our website, you just click on the calendar link, which will take you to this month's calendar of programs and activities. And I should note here that underneath where it says program key, it says calendar in purple and then black program key. Underneath that, there's 2 arrows, really little itty-bitty arrows pointing to the left or right. So you can go backwards and take a look at the June calendar if you want to, or you can go forwards. We'll have to go through July 1st, and look at the August calendar if you want to. But we're going to go back and just look at the July calendar. Since we're in July, you will note that the 8th is highlighted in yellow. This is the day this video is being recorded, so whatever day it actually is will be highlighted in yellow on the calendar. And to know more about a program, just click on the title. So if we want to know more about the Adult Book Club online, which happens tomorrow at 3, we can hover over it and get a little mini preview, or you could click right on the title, aka the link, and the page description will come up. It tells you the date of the program, the time, tells you a bit about the program, the description, of course, who you can contact if you have questions. In this case, it's me. And if there's a registration required for the program, this is where you can register for it. So that is how you access the program of events through the library's calendar on our homepage.
This is a brief video tutorial regarding how you log into a Facebook account if you've already created one. Now, a lot of us are on social media all the time, so if you're like me and you're on social media frequently, you already know how to do all this, but not everybody is on social media. So just FYI for anyone who might be interested in checking out the library's Facebook page, where you can find lots of cool information about the library. You go to facebook.com. If you already have an account, you enter your login information, your email address and password, and then click Login. If you don't have an account, you click the green Create New Account button and follow the prompts and create an account, and then you'll be able to log in. So we're assuming for this tutorial that you've already created an account, and we're going to click login in a second. I will say if you have questions about how to do this, feel free to call the library. One of our tech coaches would be happy to either talk you through it or sit down with you and go over it in person. The steps, of course. So we've entered our email address and we've entered our password and we've clicked the blue login button and we're logged in. And in the top left-hand corner, it has the Facebook logo, that white F on the blue circle, and it says search Facebook. That's where you're going to type in Southeast Bend County Library and then hit enter on your keyboard to command the computer to do that search, because by goodness, my gosh, you're in charge of the computer. And I have a feline assistant here. We'll hope he doesn't upset the apple cart while I'm trying to record this. So here we see the top portion of the search results. You can't miss the library. It's the first result at the top, and it has that little green owl logo. You just click on the title of the library, Southeast Bend County Library, and it will take you to our YouTube page. It should open and display. So here's the library's Facebook page. And as is usual with Facebook, the newest events, that is the newest postings, show up at the top of the news feed. So we see there it says Teen Watercolor Class, Jellyfish with Philomena Jack, Wednesday, July 14th, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. So there's some information about a cool program for teens. You can click on the photo to get more information, or of course, if there's an email address provided, feel free to send an email to the host. In this case, the hostess is Kayla Crane, our Young Adult Services Coordinator. And if we scroll further down our Facebook page, we'll see more programs and postings, like the program there that says Page Turner Adventures, Fish Tales Mashup Day, Thursday. That actually is today, Thursday, July 8th. That's the day I'm recording this clip. And you get the idea. You just click on the photo and you'll get more information about the program. If there's a video, which the next posting down is a video, it's the little green owl logo, and then it says Southeast Bend County Library was live, and it talks about the recording of an event that took place at the library yesterday, honoring the life of Mary Lou Walker, a musician, storyteller, friend of the library, and friend of children everywhere. And no truer words were ever spoken, because she certainly was a friend to kids everywhere. I'm in my mid-50s, but I recall being a small kid at Carter School in Corning and having Mary Lou come and play for us. It was great fun. So if you want to see the video of that, you can either log in to your Facebook account or create one if you don't have one. Go to our Facebook page and click on the photo of the video, which will make it play. Or if you don't want to create an account anywhere, go to our YouTube page, which you just go online to youtube.com and type in Southeast Bend County Library. Bring up our YouTube page and you will find that video and many others there, so you can enjoy library videos without creating an account. And a brief how to use YouTube to get to the library's YouTube page clip follows this one.
So here we see the YouTube site online. Of course, you can access this through an app on your mobile device or smart TV. But once you're here, you want to type in Southeast Bend County Library to bring up our YouTube channel. And here it is. It's the first result, so we're just going to click on the title to go to our channel. And here we have access to all the videos that the library's put out. There's a lot of crafting videos. There are young adult videos hosted mostly by Kayla Crane. Sue McConnell does story time several times a week. As you can see there, story times with Miss Sue. There are yoga videos. You see a couple of Library Connections videos. That's me. So this is where you go to access videos of programs after the fact. And that's kind of neat. If you just click videos, you'll get all these different videos. Mary Alice playing the harp. There's lots of cool stuff. Cooking with Miss Abby. Very cool stuff. So I urge you to check that out.
If you have questions about this weekly video cast, let me know. Send an email to me at reimerl@stls.org and I'll get back to you. Current library hours are, and they have just changed, so you may not have heard about them, but currently the library is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and that includes Wednesdays now. We are open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we are still closed on Sundays. The library's website is found at ssclibrary.org. You can access a whole host of information through our website, including our calendar of events and the online versions of our catalogs. StarCat and the BookMine app. StarCat is the catalog of physical library materials available to all card holders of the public libraries in the Southern Tier Library System, which encompasses the public libraries in Steuben, Chemung, Yates, Schuyler, and Allegheny counties. You can find StarCat online at starcat.stls.org, or you can download the BookMine app, which is basically StarCat in app form, and you can download it to your mobile device and access the catalog at your convenience through your mobile device. The digital catalog and its companion apps Libby and Overdrive. The digital catalog features eBooks, downloadable audiobooks, magazines, and a handful of streaming videos. Also of note, you can check out eBooks through the digital catalog and enjoy them on your dedicated e-reader, like the Kindle Paperwhite. For mobile devices, you download the Libby or Overdrive app. The Libby app is for newer devices, and the Overdrive app is for older devices and Kindle tablets. Additionally of note, the digital catalog is found online at stls.overdrive.com, so you can enjoy content from the digital catalog on a computer if you wish. Content in the digital catalog is available for all cardholders within the Southern Tier Library System. Hoopla. The Hoopla catalog features ebooks, comic books, full-length albums, downloadable audiobooks, and streaming videos, including both TV shows and movies. All Hoopla items are available for instant checkout for Southeast Steuben County Library cardholders with a maximum of 6 checkouts per month. You can download the Hoopla app to your mobile device, video streaming player, or smart TV, or you can go online to hoopladigital.com and check out materials on your computer and enjoy them through your desktop or laptop computer. Communicating with the library. If you have questions about library services during the pandemic, or really at any time, you are welcome to go the traditional route and simply give us a call. Our phone number is area code 607-936-3713. Again, that's area code 607-936-3713. You can also connect with the library via social media. The library has pages on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Library blogs. We have our Book Club for Adults blog found at ssclbook.club, and as you might expect, that features information on the monthly Book Club for Adults. We have the Corning NY History blog, which is our local history blog found at corningnyhistory.com. That features weekly postings that show photos of the area back in the day. And Creation Stationery, the Makerspace blog found at creationstationery.com. That's the complimentary blog for our Makerspace. We have the Story Musings blog, a blog hosted by the library's resident author and head of adult services, Michelle Wells. That can be found at storymusing.blogspot.com. And finally, Tech and Book Talk, a readers, viewers, and listeners advisory blog with occasional helpful how-to tech tips thrown in for good measure, and that's found at sscltech.com. And briefly, here are our references of the week. And that's the program for this week. I'll be back next week with a new edition of Library Connections. Have a great day.